just like to say thanks. It's great to be here. It's always a privilege to give testimony because it shows what a powerful God we serve. Nothing's impossible for him. And a scripture I like is Jeremiah 29:11. It says, I know the plans I have for you, they're for good, not of evil. He has a great plan for everybody in this room, everybody on the universe. My background is, I was brought up in a family home, not knowing love. I was sexually abused when I was 8. My mother was murdered by a friend of my father, who got away with it. By which time I was about 9, so I decided, well, I'm just going to shut myself off. I'm not going to let anybody get near me whatsoever. Build a wall. I can't get hurt no more then. And I got put into care when I was 9 till I was about 18. My father said I was uncontrollable. But I was so full of hurt, so full of hatred because of what had happened. And I came out of children's home, went back home briefly to see how things went, but I just couldn't get on with my father after what had happened. I just couldn't forgive him. I wanted to, but it was just too much. And so I joined the army. And eventually, while I was in the army, I got kicked out eventually for being too violent. So I got into drink and drugs while I was in the forces. I knocked about with people outside the army called undesirables. And when I came out of the army, got involved with drinking, drugs, became an alcoholic, drug addict. Was in and out of prison, small sentences, breaking and entering, stealing, fighting. Eventually got involved with the gang scene basically to make a living, and people wanted somebody hurt, and got into all that. The drugs with different gangs, selling drugs on different people's patches and that. And somebody, one of your guys, and you took revenge, this, that and the other. And it was, I suppose it came to a height when, to climb the ladder of the gangland basically, get further up the ladder, you had to do certain things, and you got out of control in the late 1970s, where I actually blew 4 people's houses up, and so obviously I got 4 life sentences. And while I was in prison, went to different kinds of prisons, but while I was in Kingston prison, where things took a turn, I was always in and out the punishment block, getting into trouble on the wings and that, fighting and selling drugs and everything else. And there was a guy I knew. I used to play for the football team in Kingston because they had a football team, and one of the guys was a Christian. He wanted me to take a message up to his prison visitor. I said, nah, not for me, man. You go ahead. He said he begged me to go up, so I took it up, and on the way out, somebody said, why don't you come in to sit down in service? And now I'm not into all that. So just go sit down, 10 minutes. So it was near the end of it. So I sat down, and there was somebody coming from Pentecostal church choir, Arundel Street, Portsmouth. And he was giving his testimony. And I don't know, it's as though he was just speaking to me. The place was full, loads of other guys in there. And it's the freedom he seemed to have. He seemed to be free and full of joy, and which I'd never had. It's always been a journey of searching. Got something, I fed up with that, something else. Always looking for something. And he seemed to have so much joy and radiance on his face, and I don't know, my anger shot up. I don't know why, but it just shot up, and I gave my heart to the Lord that day, 1986, January 18th, at midday. And went out of that room, and it's just so, everything just changed, just went off the wings. So what happened to you? I explained to him, Bible basher, Listen, I was going through loads of medical tests at the time, because Because when I went to prison, they said, you'll be dead by the time you're 30. I was about 26. So I had cirrhosis of the liver, hepatitis, yellow jaundice, all at the same time. So I was having all these tests at the hospital, this, that and the other. They'd sent blood samples off, confirming that. So after the service, I had to go and get some more blood tests the following Tuesday. This was a Sunday. On a Tuesday, they ran the test, and 5, 6 days later, need to run some more tests because there's something wrong with the test. There's nothing showing up. And I said, well, yeah, well, that's because I got saved Sunday. I said, saved from what? I said, saved from myself. Jesus found me, healed me, restored me, forgave me. So they healed me. So I must be ill because I don't feel the same. I feel so full of joy, just want to tell everybody about it. Knocking on guy's cell, you need to meet this guy I met. You need to meet him. So they took 2 lots, 3 lots, and they all came back the same. And I said, well, I told you. He said, no, he's got a logical explanation. I said, yes, I just told you. God healed me. Simple as that. And from there, I don't know, it's like everything just got better, because every day was a dread, really, because same thing, getting up, doing the same thing, same boring thing. There's about 500 Christians there, so there was nothing happening during the week, so we've got to get some stuff going. So got this group. We used to meet between ourselves in the chapel during the week, reading the word and that. I was knocking on the chaplain's door, get somebody in during the week, Took a long time for it all, but eventually we got somebody in from the Pentecostal churches coming every Wednesday, take Bible study. We used to meet in each other's cells, having communion. The screws was always looking through the window. What's going on there? What's going on there? What are you drinking? So what? You never used to be happy. So what's happening? What are you drinking? I said, Holy Ghost. And it was amazing because you started having reports. We give these reports so long, we have so many years, this, that, and the other. And they were saying, we know why you. Or they say you're faking this. I said, faking what? That you're a changed person. You never change. I mean, look at your lifestyle. What you've done. You say you're only doing it to try and get parole. So, whatever. Because they said at the trial, you should be locked away, your key should be chucked away, you should never be let out. They said, you ain't going nowhere. I said, well, fine. And eventually, after all the reports, I got transferred from Kingston Prison. And from Kingston Prison, you're supposed to go to semi-open, could be something like that before you get to an open prison or whatever. I went straight from there to an open prison. And I was eating outside the grounds of Kingston Prison, sweeping the car park. Supposedly you're not allowed to. So we got to open prison. I don't know, I just ended up, reports great, and we set up groups there, Christian groups, got the Pentecostal pastor in, started to put a newsletter together, sent it out to all the local churches and that, and started working outside 3-4 days a week in Derby local hospital.